Hello and welcome to Ask the Crown. I'm Stephanie McGrane and so excited to have Janice Celeste joining us today. Janice is Mrs. Lady Pageant Gal United States and the author of 3 books, including Making a Supermodel. She is also momager, mom and manager of international supermodel Sessilee Lopez. Sessilee is a former Victoria's Secret model, and Janice helped her daughter rise in the industry to become one of the world's top models. So we're so excited to have you with us today, Janice.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and I really love you guys, so thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. We're so excited for this opportunity to find out about your new book and about your supermodel daughter and how you helped her rise to fame. So first, tell us a little bit about Sessilee's career and the different things she's done.
Oh my goodness, it's more so what hasn't she done. She's been on everything from the Oprah show when Oprah was on, when she had her 50th anniversary, and she wore Narciso Rodriguez gold dresses made from real gold. Sessilee got to go on and model some clothes and talk with Oprah. She's met Oprah a couple times, which is very cool. She's walked the runways for everyone from Oscar de la Renta to Diane von Furstenberg, Fendi, Karl Lagerfeld, Armani. I mean, just name them, and Sessilee has pretty much been on their runway. She's been in almost every major magazine in some sort of editorial. She's done campaigns for Calvin Klein, CK1. I mean, it just goes on and on. Of course, she's done Victoria's Secret fashion show. She did those 2 years in a row. But she has done so much in such a short time, and she's only 24 right now, and she's traveled the world. I mean, I used to travel with her as well. We got to go to Iceland and Brazil, and I never will forget Iceland because we did it for Harper's Bazaar in an editorial where she was on icebergs in 5-inch heels, and the icebergs were melting. It was June, so that was kind of an adventure, but you know, she's done a lot, and it's been a really fulfilling career for her.
Oh my goodness, that is so exciting. That is just what so many of us dream about, having a life like that, being a supermodel, and she accomplished it. So exciting. So Janice, tell us, how did Sessilee's career get started?
Oh, it was a fluke. It was a total fluke. I didn't have, but I knew she grew. She had a growth spurt. So at 12 years old, she was taller than I was. She was 5'10" at 12. And everyone was asking us everywhere we went, whether it was a supermarket or a clothing store, are you a model? Are you a model? And so I said, well, heck, you know, maybe you should be a model. But that put the bug in her head. And then she heard an advertisement on the radio, and it was for a modeling camp. And they were calling girls to a hotel for like an open call. And if you got picked, you got to go to Orlando and meet with top modeling agents. And so I told her, no, we can't do that. I'm a single mom. In Florida, you have to drive everywhere. There's no public transportation. I couldn't afford to do that. So first I told her no. And then, of course, being mom and I'm being soft, I changed my mind. I said, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll go. If you get picked, we'll go to Orlando and make, you know, a weekend out of it, like a little vacation. And, you know, so let's try it, see what happens. She got there. She got picked at the local one, got to Orlando, did not get picked. Started crying. I got determined because they made my baby cry. And so I said, that's it. We're going to do this. Let's do it. We're going to go to New York. I'm going to take your pictures that I took, and we're going to take them with us, and we're going to go to New York, and we're going to make this happen. And we went to New York for a week. It was a trying time because I had just lost my job. I had nothing to lose, so I said, let's go. Let's try this. And she went to about 6 agencies. We had planned to go to about 10. That was pretty unrealistic, really, because it takes a long time at each one. And she got interest from 3 agencies out of the 6 that we went to. Immediately, IMG was one of the biggest ones that she really wanted to be with. Tyra Banks was there. Victoria's Secret models were there. So they called us actually to come back upstairs. By the time when we left, they called us to come back upstairs. We were in the lobby, and I got a call on my cell phone, and they was like, okay, we want to see her again. Bring her back up. And we were like, hey, great, let's go. We were so excited. We were like, let's go. They want to see you again. So we went back up, and they said they definitely want her. The team loves her, and they want us to move there. And then it was like, now what? Now what? So we actually went back, and Mom sold the house that I loved so much, and we moved to a little closet apartment in Jersey City, and which was double the price of my big sprawling ranch home in Florida. And it was 3-story walk up. So that was a challenge too, because in Florida, you know, there's no stairs in Florida, right? There's no stairs. You don't even, your knees feel it when you come to a place where there's stairs everywhere, like New York City or Jersey. So I had to get used to that, but we moved there, and for about the first 6 months, honestly, when you model, you don't make any money. You're doing a lot of test shoots. You're doing a lot of stuff for free. You're not making any money. It's very important that you have some way to support yourself during those first 6 months, because I learned that really fast. I had to find a job. Oh, I can't tell you, though, the emotions I went through as a mother, because she just turned 13 at that point, and she had to learn New York City subways by herself. Wow. Now, I was homeschooling her, and then I had to go to work full time and then come back and homeschool her. And while I was at work, when I first got the job, I was sitting at the desk crying, like, my baby's on the subway by herself. Oh, my God. You know, I'm such a bad mom. Oh, I don't feel my father's her. I'm going to kill them if they father her. You know, it's like that. They can't touch my baby. So, you know, being a protective mom, couldn't help it. You know, I really wanted to be with her, but I couldn't. So I had to bring in the bucks because she wasn't making money at first.
Oh, what an awesome mom you are. That's incredible that you picked up, you moved for your daughter, you know, to help make her rise to the top as a supermodel. And so tell us, what made you decide to write the book, Making a Supermodel?
Oh, well, after she's done everything that she's done, and she has a Facebook fan page, and, you know, we're always posting all the great things. She does red carpet events now. She knows celebrities. She has pictures with, like, everyone from Kanye, Kim Kardashian, on down. I mean, she just went to Elton John's white tie and tiara ball in London. I mean, she knows everyone. So people want to know when they see those pictures, how did we do it? So they'll write me on Facebook and they'll say, how'd you do it? I'm like, geez, that's more than just a few lines or a letter. I really need, well, to put this in a book. And even though it's a small book, it gives you the gist of how we did it. You know, Sessilee and I, this is what we did, step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is what worked for us. I can't guarantee it will work for everyone, but it definitely worked for us.
Now, is this book designed for anyone, or is it more for parents of aspiring supermodels?
Well, everyone can get something out of it, but I totally wrote it from the direction of a parent to another parent, because I wanted the parents to know what they were getting into. And that's who I get most of my questions from, are parents, usually moms, wanting to know how you can do it. The one thing you can't do, though, and I get this a lot, you can be in Kalamazoo, Kansas, or somewhere, and you want to be a supermodel. Well, you might be able to model for, like, the local newspaper or something like that, but if you really want to get into high fashion or see yourself on national television, you need to be in a fashion capital, and you have to be willing to move there or move to close to one, which the fashion capitals are, the 4 basic ones are New York, Paris, London, and Milan. But you also have in the United States, for bathing suit type models, Miami. For bubblegum and braces type of young girl teen modeling, Orlando. If you want to do more commercial, toothpaste type commercials, and you're not tall enough, California. Those are the places that you can go, and those will help you definitely if you want to model and you don't also fit the criteria of a supermodel, which you have to be at least 5'8" and skinny. Totally skinny.
That's good advice for our viewers. So location is key, depending on what area of modeling you're going into, your look. You need to really focus on where you need to be in order to do that. So that's
absolutely
good. What other types of tips can we get from your book? And what's some advice you can give to those aspiring supermodels out there?
Well, one of the questions that I get a lot is what to wear when you go to meet with an agency. And it's pretty much a uniform depending on where you live. And I found that it was different from down south to up north. And if you want to do, like I said, high fashion modeling, you want to be up north. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But basically, it's jeans, not loose-fitting jeans, not jeans that are too tight. You can wear jeans. Get some Levi's or mostly Levi's if you can't afford a designer pair of jeans. Always tell models, if you can, get one designer thing that you can put in your wardrobe that day when you go there, whether it's a purse or a pair of shoes or a jacket. Just one designer thing, and you can wear everything else from Walmart. It doesn't matter. Just as long as they will notice that one designer thing, and then you look like you're a top model. So we did that with either pair of shoes. Sometimes she got free shoes from a show, if she, or when she first started off, I bought her something. But you can wear a fitted shirt, like it could be a graphic tee. But as long as it's not loose fitting and they can see your shape in it, it's not, you don't want anything too tight either. So I have to say that as well. It has to fit just right, just so they can see what your shape looks like. So that, a pair of heels, depending on the weather, if you have a bag and a coat, of course they're not going to see your coat because they're going to make you take it off, but you always want to look the part when you walk in the room. It's very important.
Now, what is your advice to our viewers watching that perhaps don't fit the supermodel criteria, the mold, but they still want to model?
Yes.
What is your advice to them?
I mean, there's modeling out there for everyone. It might not be high fashion modeling. There might be commercial modeling. You might be a beautiful girl, but you're 5'6". And you might have a beautiful smile, so maybe you can do toothpaste type of commercials or those type of commercials that you see on television. Then you need to go out to California. There's even a modeling agency for funny faces, for people who have interesting looking faces that aren't considered beautiful, but they have interesting looking faces. So there is an agency out there for everyone. Of course, we have the children agencies, the teen agencies. You have agencies for plus size models. You have agencies for pregnant models. So there's something out there for everyone. You just have to do your research and find out where do you fit in.
And now I know there's a lot of different opportunities that come along, but how do you know if it's legitimate? What are some red flags that we need to be aware of?
The biggest red flag, and I get this a lot, I get this question so many times, is if an agency that you go to asks you for money up front, whether it's for pictures, whether it's for whatever it is to get them started. A legitimate agency, a top 10 big agency, will not ask you for any money. This is how it works, okay? They will hire a photographer who's not so known, who wants to get their work out there, to do test shots. Test shots, that's the lingo. Test shots of your child, your daughter. And what will happen is those test shots will look like something that came right out of a magazine, like a campaign or editorial. And they will use that to shop your daughter around. Now, once she gets her first job, they will take from her paycheck the money to pay that photographer who did the shoot. And it usually isn't that much because he's not known. So they're not going to charge a lot of money because they want to get out there too. So that's how you know for sure that the agency is legit. If they believe in your daughter, you don't have to pay anything. It's a job. Who pays to go to work? I mean, who does that? No one. They're working. They get paid for doing that. Anything outside of that, they'll take from their paycheck.
So good to know. Yes. So good. I know there's so many different people out there trying to take money, so that's important, and we need to remember that.
That's my favorite, and I say out of everything I tell you today, that's the most important thing that you need to keep in your head if you're shopping your daughter around to be a model.
Absolutely. And let me ask you this. We have a lot of viewers of the show who are into pageantry, but now would you consider a pageantry and modeling very similar? Would you say it's different? How would you compare the two?
A little of both, I would say, because with pageantry, what it does is it gives you the confidence that you need to go in and you know, people recognize that whether you're in a pageant or you're going to a casting for a modeling job. So that confidence is there, and pageantry does that for you. As well as with pageantry, you get rejected sometimes by judges. Well, with modeling, you're going to get rejected 10 times a day, 7 days a week, you know, for the rest of the year. Not everyone's going to be perfect for that job. So you're going to get rejected. So pageantry will teach you how to handle and manage rejection. It will teach you also how to have that confidence. There's some differences. For instance, a pageant walk is different from a runway walk. So with pageantry, we're taught, look at the judges, look at each one, you know, as you go. So, but with modeling, you don't look at anyone. You're looking straight ahead. You have that model, I am fierce face, and you're walking down the runway, and then you're turning around and not paying attention to anyone in the audience. So there's some differences and there's some similarities, but I definitely feel that being able to handle rejection by judges is one of the most important things you can take from pageantry over to modeling.
Well, now Janice, tell us, how can we get a copy of your book? Great information, much needed information in making a supermodel. So how can we get our hands on a copy?
Well, my book is available through Amazon.com. You can also get it through Barnes & Noble. You can just do a search for the title, Making a Supermodel by Janice Celeste, and it should come up. It's available as a Kindle edition as well as a print edition. I ask that anybody who gets it, please put their comments and review under the book. That helps me a lot, so I really do appreciate if you like it. Or we also have a Facebook fan page for the book, as well as for my daughter, Sessilee Lopez. You can always contact me through that Facebook page. If you have purchased my book, I will help you as much as possible. And I say that way because a lot of times people will ask me the very same questions that are in the book. And the book can answer almost all of your questions, but if you still have questions after reading the book, please contact me through Making a Supermodel on the Facebook fan page or our website, which is makingaSupermodel.com, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I've helped at least 2 girls get into agencies from my Facebook fan page.
Oh, that is so wonderful of you. And in addition to being an author and a momager of a supermodel, you are also a pageant title holder with a very special platform. So tell us a little bit more about your platform.
My platform is called the Diva Dog Project, and what I do is I raise money to help local no-kill shelters, specifically no-kill shelters if we can, because I try to prevent dogs getting euthanized, especially dogs. I have a big heart for dogs. I love cats too, but we try to help them out. We help out all pets, especially if there's a disaster, like we recently helped out the Oklahoma disaster for pets who were separated from their owners because of the tornadoes. So we gave a bunch of donations to local shelters because they lost everything. And so something like that happens, we try to help out as well. And the way we do that is through online photo contest of your dog, and it's a pageant for dogs, so they actually win. Oh, it's so cute. I can't tell you, it's the cutest thing ever. People send in pictures of their dogs. One time we have themes, and they can win crystal tiaras, crystal crowns, real sashes, and they win trophies with a little dog and a big crystal trophy. So it's beautiful. People love it. We have pageants going on all year long, and it's a big hit. It's a big hit. We do it on Facebook. You just search Diva Dog Pageants. And
that is the coolest thing ever. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Cute little doggies and tiaras and sashes and the cute little trophies.
Thank you. I must also mention, if you don't mind, one more thing. My pageant is America's Supermiss, so I have to mention the seatbelt safety because that's really important. And I know the director has a personal connection with seatbelt safety, and that touches my heart, and I'm getting choked up talking about it because I know the story behind it. But I need to just say that seatbelt safety is definitely a part of my platform as well. I'm sorry, I got choked up there for a second. All the thoughts went through my head at the same time, so I apologize, but yeah.
And I am so glad you mentioned that. Absolutely. Everyone should be buckling up every time to stay safe.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I know you had mentioned earlier about Facebook, but what is the best way to contact you? Do you have any other additional ways that our viewers can contact you?
Absolutely. I think the best way is probably still through the website, makingaSupermodel.com. There's a contact page there. If you want to send me an email, I'll get right back to you as soon as I get your email.
Wonderful. And Janice, thank you so much for joining us today. So happy to have you on and hear about you and your book and your daughter, and of course your title and your platform and the Diva Dog Pageant. It was wonderful having you.
Thank you.
To read more about Janice's story, please visit www.pageantliveaskthecrown.blogspot.com. And thank you for watching this episode of Ask the Crown. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.